right.
Thanks for joining us, Louis.
Well, I'm right down the block, so this was really easy.
Great.
Yeah, we're worked out on all levels.
You look good.
Thank you. Well, thanks.
You do. You look good.
That's weird. That's why. Did it look like on other things?
You look better than you used to look.
Yeah, that's what people say. That's one of the things that thing where people come up and go, God, you lost weight.
Right.
Well, thanks. So I was, a beast?
Yeah.
You fuck? I thought it was okay, and if I really needed to lose a lot of weight and obviously was in danger, but why didn't you say something?
Well, I didn't know you then, but Todd Glass has that great joke about, he's like, you ever have somebody tell you look like somebody that's super insulting? Like, you look like John Goodman, but a thin John Goodman. You look like a good-looking pig.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It is. Todd is good. But thank you. I've been the only thing about the pandemic that was good to me was anxiety really kind of helped.
Oh, yeah.
For me.
How did it help you?
Because I lost weight. It's the best dieting. I mean, I really did, and what really irks you is my doctor had said, it'd be really good if you lost, 15 to 20 pounds. And I lost more.
Yeah.
Okay? And then the thing is you're supposed to, one would think because he said one of the great things that he said about it was it's when you have 20 pounds extra on you're wandering around, it's like carrying 20 pounds on you.
Sure.
It's like carrying a fucking valise with 20 pounds all day. Well, I lost the weight.
Yeah.
And then I lost even more, and then I go back to see him, and I go, yeah, well, that's a great concept. I still feel like I'm fucking 30 pounds. I still feel like I'm carrying it, asshole.
Yeah.
It didn't go away. It went away, and I still feel it, so explain that.
That's just the stress on your shoulders. You got the anxiety. What do you think is the key to your anxiety? What causes it?
Well, no, it was the pandemic.
Oh, it was the pandemic.
I had never had it before.
Really?
I'd never had anxiety.
I thought every comic had anxiety.
No.
Really?
No,
not every. There's some comics.
There's some.
I go in the L.A. green rooms. There's some comics doing like Tai Chi in that green room.
Shadow boxing.
But I don't do Tai Chi. And I'm certainly not. But there are a lot of happy-go-lucky comics.
Yeah, Cosby was happy.
Yeah,
he had a good time.
Wasn't lucky.
Yeah, exactly.
But now that guy raped a lot of women.
Yeah,
apparently.
40
shouldn't
plus.
do that.
No, that's a big no. That and stealing jokes are the two things.
I did realize that, sometimes I'll get really pissed about a comic stealing jokes, and then you're like, well, now I definitely got to speak out if they rape. I can't be the guy who's only tweeting about you stole a joke.
Yeah.
I'd be like, rape is bad too.
Yeah, I guess because no one's going to rape us. So the joke, you could steal my joke, but you're not going to rape me. So it's just selfish.
Well, I'm pumped to have you here because I've followed your career forever. I mean, I used to open for Dave Attell a lot. He told me about touring with you.
Oh,
and,
yes.
I mean, the tour was you and Dave Attell were co-headlining, and the opening act was Mitch Hedberg.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty remarkable.
That's insane.
It was really insane, and it was also insane because David and I had, for some reason, become the faces of Comedy Central.
Yes.
Even with The Daily Show being on, Dave and I would do these fucking interstitials at the end of the week. They would have a show like, some bogus fuck show where they'd have 6 different comics or some sort of bullshit sketches, whatever the fuck. And they'd have Dave and I introduce this stuff so that we were always kind of on.
Yeah.
And he was doing Insomnia, and I was doing The Daily a lot. And all of a sudden they said, you want to do this tour? Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
And did he tell you about the great Dave Attell story?
Oh, I can't wait.
It was one of the great ones. Was we had a lot of fun, and
he was still drinking.
Oh God! He did one thing that was the most brilliant thing I'd ever seen in terms of dealing with. We'd want to go out afterwards, so he would in the rider he had him give him a bottle of Jaeger.
Yeah, of course.
And
Jaeger.
I said, Jesus, you're gonna get a bottle every night? It's crack. You can't drink it that much. He said, watch. So we go to the whatever, we're going to the bar, and he walks up to the bar and puts that bottle of Jaeger down, slams it down in the bar and goes, drink up, drinks are on us. And then we would walk to the back of the bar, and they like fucking minnows would go, and they'd all, scatter and get up to the bar, and he and I could go in the back and just basically not be bothered.
Wow, that's brilliant.
It was really smart. But one night we were, I can't for the life of me remember what fucking town we were in.
Yeah.
But I left, the bar before him and got back, and he apparently walked back to the hotel, and then got a cab. He's at his own. He's at his hotel.
Yeah.
Gets a cab to go to his hotel.
Oh,
He was that fucked up?
that's great.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How good is that?
I've done it before where you're shit-faced and you use your credit card to try to get on the subway.
I've done that.
Which now you can do.
Yeah.
Right.
But back in the day, you would try to swipe like a Visa.
Yes.
What the hell?
You're ahead of your
You're just
time.
hammered, yeah.
But
Right.
this was really something because he sent them to the he said, I think it's a this, and then he would name the hotels, and eventually he named the hotel he was at, and they drove back to the hotel. It was really splendid. And it made me feel so good about my blind, shit-faced drinking.
Right.
I thought, wow, I've been fucked up, but I didn't do that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm almost scared to ask, but how was Mitch?
Mitch was Mitch.
Yeah.
Here's Mitch. Mitch is the first day we're going to Austin. We're in a van. We go we hop out in one of these places. We're picking up some gas, and there's a whole bunch of these red Solo cups there. And he goes up with about 12 of them to the guy, and he says, how much can I buy these? And the guy goes, well, yeah, how much are they? And he gives him some money, and he comes out beaming with these 12 red Solo cups. Going, he said, God, you never gonna, you never know when you need one of these. And I just went, wow, we are in that. I thought this is going to be one of the strangest.
That was it? You think he was fucked up? He must have been.
Well, if he's not, then
it's dementia.
Yeah, then something's
Or boyish excitement.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like...
Well, I mean, those red Solo cups. I thought, you live in Minneapolis, for fuck's sake. You were born and raised there. I know they have red Solo. You can't be trying to impress Dave and I.
No.
We've seen those fucking cups.
Right. I guess those cups equal a good time. It's like a party or a barbecue, beer pong. Yeah. So.
But he was very funny, and he was there for. But we had said at the beginning that that we were not. Dave and I both made it very clear. You are not expecting us to be in charge of him.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You cannot ask Dave and I, who are going to go to the bar,
right,
and going to be fucked up, to be in charge of the other.
This is like a Hangover movie here.
Totally. I just throw in heroin. That's the only difference.
Damn. But was he sober-ish on the road with you guys or no?
Well, I mean, the first day it was one of those things where you get your, you have your rider, and and we'd never had, none of us, we'd all work clubs and never had a rider, so it was like, I got a vodka. Dave got the Jaeger, and Mitch got a bottle of vodka, and it was like. And he was supposed to be in a sobriety thing at this point, so it was kind of like Dave and I looked at each other and went, "Oh, okay, well, that's that."
Yeah,
this is not. But we're going to have to call the guys again and say, we're not. And he got a bottle of vodka each night.
Damn.
For a while. And then I don't remember because, I literally, a bottle of vodka each night. What happens is by the third night, you go, I got 2.5 bottles of vodka. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
This is completely stupid.
Yeah, well, you got those Solo cups.
Yeah.
Gotta fill them up. Can I ask, though, like back in the day, I feel like in Comedy Central, they used to air all these tours. I remember seeing your tour with Dave Attell and Hedberg. Then I saw the Geraldo one. Then you'd have tour guys. They used to put these on TV. I don't feel like we do that anymore. Do we?
No,
you don't see comedy tours.
No. What they do now is then they get, goes back to before that when they'd get 4 people and they go, tonight is, here's the best of the scooters.
Yeah.
And here come the scooters, and these are every comic who talks about scooters, and we're gonna have them on tonight, and there'll be 4 of them. They just do it.
They package it.
They package it.
It's not a long.
Yeah, it's not the way that they did. And they only really did some of that.
Yeah.
I feel like being a comic at that time was so rock and roll. Like so much of comedy, a lot of comics seem to be going through a health phase, but you were in this time when it was like you're drinking, Attell's drinking, Hedberg's doing God knows what.
Yeah.
And I think of those stories. I remember, I don't know if it was in your book or in Jim Norton's book, I read about you guys getting arrested.
Oh yeah, it was Norton and I.
Ooh, let's
Yeah.
hear it.
Oh yeah, well that's the one. It's it was the naked party bus. I can't remember what they called it. God damn it, there was a name for it. And we were doing Opie and Anthony.
Oh, right.
Jim was starting to become part of that group, but hadn't reached that, hadn't been brought on, right, as a regular. I was on there at least once every 10 days.
Yeah, wow.
And it was great. And they were on in the afternoons, and I was really comfortable, and Anthony and I would just scream at each other.
Yeah.
It was just great. He was so full of shit. And he thought I was so full of shit. And we just bellow at each other, and there was and it's this whole thing of now we live in a great divide. He and I were on a great divide, but neither of us took it seriously.
Right.
Both of us knew that we were that we're full of shit.
Yeah.
So I'm yelling at him, he's yelling at me. Then they say we got a bus coming today, and there's going to be these girls are supposed to be these girls are going to be naked on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And did Jim and I want to go on the bus? Well, you fucking yeah. And it never crossed my mind if they go teenage, and this still is not registering until later but we get on the bus, and the Boyer bus, they called it. That was it.
Ah, there you go.
It was called the Boyer bus, and the deal was they were driving around the country, and there was one girl who was in it at that point. I think there may have been two of them, but one at that who had come to New York. And they drove around. The whole idea is you drove around a city in order to express our First Amendment rights.
Oh, hey,
that's
good
really,
on you, sister.
Yeah, really, isn't that like something you think? The first thing you think of is take naked girls around, and that's our First Amendment.
Now, are they attractive? Because sometimes these First Amendment gals can be a little rough around the edges.
No, I know what you're thinking, but no.
Oh, great.
No, it was really, but it's also
Best way to express your freedom of speech, I think, is tits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's also the same. I said at the time that we were doing it, it's like saying, you don't yell fire in a theater. It's like saying the equivalent of saying, well, don't yell fuck you in a theater.
Right.
That's, I mean, come on, guys, the First Amendment, just say it for what it is. Whatever it is that you're trying to sell, let's go sell it. And thank you for inviting me on the bus.
Yes. Yeah. Now, did DeSantis send this bus up here?
This was back when things were fun.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Remember when this was not a political statement?
Oh, my God, I know.
These breasts are making no statement whatsoever except to the delight of Norton and me, and there was another producer. And along the way, we picked up a friend of mine who was the artistic director of a theater that I did a lot of work at in the summers. I said, he was married, and I said, I think you're going to want to do this.
Yeah.
And so he hopped on the bus.
You're his wife's least favorite friend.
Yeah, and here's a big one. It's you know who Kate Burton is?
I don't know.
You don't really?
No.
Wow, that's great.
Kate
I can't wait. I can't wait to tell her. It's Richard Burton's daughter.
Oh, okay.
She's and a really fine actress. It's her husband.
Isn't his son an actor too?
Yes, he's. But she's the one, and
well, who's Richard Burton's son? Because he's also famous, isn't he?
Rich, I don't know. I know her, but what I really know, and I know her husband really well, so I got him on the bus. Now we're driving around, and it's just before Christmas, okay? So we're driving all over. We're coming right down fucking, right down 9th Avenue, right down fucking 9th. Coming from we were on 56th Street. We spin out of there, come down, and we move through the city like a bat out of hell.
Oh, yeah.
And these girls are standing there, and then we would roll up, and we'd be sitting there. These guys would be looking up, and these girls are standing there kind of doing a little bit of a dance and going, yeah, that's right, go fuck yourselves, you pieces of shit. So that's what they're saying. The whole thing was just magnificent to watch. Of course. Because they're getting back at them. They think they're getting the show. And meanwhile, what's extraordinary is these old ladies who were the ones you think, thumbs up.
Yeah.
They're like, couldn't be happier. Nobody bothered. It's Christmas, you fucking idiots. Everybody is happy. Here comes a bus filled with tits.
Yes.
Who could complain? So we go all the way around. Now we've gotten around at fucking 4 o'clock, 3:34, 4:30. So we're getting into rush hour, and we're moving like a bat out of hell, and we get through the city in 40 minutes.
Wow. Well, you get out of the way for tits. The lanes open up.
And they and the cops who would listen to Opie, Anthony, because the cops weren't stupid. We're always on top of the fact that if they were going to do something idiotic, they need to kind of have to deal with it.
Right.
So that they knew they had to help us get through, and they did. And there was no sense of traffic being fucked up. Spectacular.
Yeah.
We're 3 blocks from the studio.
Mm-hmm.
We dropped my friend off. He's so fucking lucky he got out of that fucking. He gets off. We drive 3 more blocks. We're 3 blocks away from where we have to be, and the cops stop us and basically take us off the bus. They put us in those fucked up handcuffs, those plastic handcuffs, the zip ties, and they took all of us, including the girls, everybody.
Really?
Everybody got off the bus and it's because at that point, Rudy Giuliani was the mayor of New York, and he was going to be sure. He said that we were disturbing. There it is. It's my friend. And he said we were going to be disturbing the peace.
Oh, wow. Come on.
And it was like, fuck you. And it was also, it was like, it's always amazing how this shit that's the most honest thing you can say is funny. So why did they also take us off the street? Because within an hour and a half later, an hour and a half max, I mean, probably, he was coming through was Bill Clinton, who was the president at that point.
Sure.
So he's coming through. So we're basically being busted. He's gotten a blowjob. We're getting busted for being on this bus.
Yeah.
And we're not breaking the law because why? In New York City, women can be topless.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was madness.
What Bill Clinton did was worse.
Yes.
Getting your dick sucked by your employee in the Oval Office is worse than a titty bus in Midtown.
Yeah,
right?
it is. It would seem to me. It would seem to me he should have waited a lot longer to get by, or they should have told him the bus was coming through. Would you like to join us? It was really something. I mean, it was one of those things. And then they took us, and we were in jail for a day and a half.
Wow, a day and a half?
Yeah. Well, they took us in. Yeah. They took us in that night. That
spent the night
afternoon.
in jail. Is there a mugshot?
We had a gig. No, not that I remember. There was no mugshots because we didn't even get that far. We went in. We stayed there, and then Jim would remember. And then I can't remember. The next day, we had to be tried by a certain time, and if we weren't, that we'd be there the whole weekend. So this was like a Thursday, I think, when we got caught. We go in there in the evening, and then they put us into Gen Pop, which is like general population. So now we're sitting in there, Jim and I, and Jim at that time, as much as Jim would talk a good ball game, or I could certainly go fuck yourself pretty easily. We're like going, this has gone too far. And then I'm going, I think maybe I said, did anybody card those girls? Did anybody card the girls? Did anybody card the girls? That's all we need, Jim.
Yeah.
That's it. We're gonna get busted for this. Now we're gonna get busted for being on a bus with topless girls. God damn it! And they're underage. We're fucked.
Oh no!
So that's all.
You're next to Jeffrey Epstein in the cell. He's like, I got their age. I think they're good. Yeah.
And to boot, I was in Jeffrey Epstein's house once.
What?
Really?
Yes, with Bobby Slayton. I've got nothing. Yeah, this is
when they got up to go to the bathroom. Did he smell the seat?
No.
What? How was Jeffrey Epstein's house?
Unbelievable.
I mean, but what was the occasion?
Bobby Slayton, Woody Allen, and Sun Yi.
Oh my God!
Oh, this is like a Mad Libs.
Exactly.
Holy moly!
It is. That's a very good one. That's nice, man. There was Dick Cavett.
Wow.
And I can't think of his name. I can see him.
Harvey.
No.
Epstein, not a good guy, but he throws a hell of a dinner party.
Yeah.
Apparently. I mean, these are some good guests.
Good guess.
But it was, and then there was one other comic, and I can't remember if he's passed away.
Greg,
and it's another one.
Patrice, Louis Anderson,
No,
Norm, Bob, Saget, Gilbert.
No, it's nobody will reach.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's one further back. He was. I know everybody's married.
Not Richard Jeni.
No.
Freddie Roman, Alan King.
Gary, no. We could play. It sounds like.
Okay.
So
I
what's
think
going
it
on
began
at
with
this
a
dinner?
G. And he was. I can tell you this. He was married to Ty Babylonia.
All right, that's all you need. Ty
Yeah.
Babylonia's husband.
And I can't think of who.
How do you get invited to Epstein's?
If fucking Slayton called me up and said, he really likes comics.
Randy Gardner. No, that's a figure skater.
That's the, no.
All right.
no.
Brian Boitano.
Tanya Harding.
What?
He was a middle act.
So what's the occasion for this?
It was that Bobby had gotten this. He had invited a bunch of, Epstein was like, let's go, let's get a bunch of hoo-has together. I mean,
Sure.
if you looked at the list of people he hung out with, so he liked Bobby's work, and then he said he wanted to meet me apparently, but Bobby goes, he's got really unbelievable wine. We're going to
Okay.
drink really. I said, okay, fuck it. Now I know nothing about him. It's David Brenner.
David Brenner.
Yeah.
Okay.
David
The
was
legend.
there,
Wow.
and he was really funny. It
So
was
funny
a
to go
fun.
to Epstein's place for wine.
Huh? Yeah. So it was. He
How old
said-
is bottles? 16 years?
So I'm there. Nothing is. This is years ago. This is this is like 7 years before the shit hits the fan.
Oh, yeah.
And we're there, and it was just kind of wild. And then the capper of the evening is at the very end. David Blaine shows up.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Can you make these charges disappear?
So he that was our night. I'll tell you, there were young girls flitting about, but I didn't know. Having not figured out anything on the Boyer bus about age, I had no idea. I didn't know how old or young they were.
Sure.
And there was a woman who was an older woman who was really, really attractive, and I thought she. I thought she was the one.
Yeah.
That was Epstein's, girlfriend. That's
Right.
what I thought. And it was the kind of thing you go into when we got here. It's weird from the beginning because it's like you go in and he's got a whiteboard and there's all of this stuff drawn on it, and he goes, "You want me to tell you what that is?" And I go, "Yeah, well, sure." Bobby and I. He goes, I had the Israeli defense minister here last night for dinner, and then he's got me and Bobby Slayton. I mean, what kind of a fucking, are you shitting me? And then he said, and so we were talking about, he was showing me what kind of defense systems Israel would use in case of attack.
Wow.
And I thought, what? First up, what is the Israeli defense minister? What the fuck is the matter? Why would you tell me this is already, now it's weird.
Yes.
Nothing else is weird, but I know this was like a honk, something is wrong in this house.
Sure.
This is a guy who's working on his defense many years before.
Right. Right.
That's interesting. I mean, and his place was outstanding, right? I mean, it was just
it was major.
gorgeous. Yeah.
You can see it. What is it, Upper West?
It's upper. No, it's upper. It's between Madison and Fifth.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
In the
Yeah.
'60s, and it kind of is like a big, it was a big, and it didn't have a lot of furniture in it. It was very bare, but it was, but it was done well.
Yes.
and the wine was stupidly expensive, and it was.
Was it
but
great wine?
It was really great wine.
Can you tell when you're like having? I can't really tell.
But I can because
get
it's just another way to hide your alcoholism.
Right.
As if you can go, boy, now I can take. I have a sense now of what's good.
Yes, I'm a connoisseur, not an alcoholic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they were in Kentucky all week, and they're like so proud that they're like these bourbon sommeliers. But I'm like, you're still a good job. You can tell that they're caramel notes. You're still wrapping your car around a fucking pole.
Yeah, exactly. Heroin addicts know when it's pure shit. You know, versus.
but it was really. And we got invited back again.
Ah.
And Bobby said, "You want to go?" I said, "I ain't going to that house again."
Oh, really?
Smart.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I don't care how good the wine is. I said, something is fucked up in there, and I don't know what it is.
Wow.
Not going Bobby
But it was
Slayton's
one of
Voice
those
of
things,
Reason.
too. You know this thing. It's that thing where somebody wants to hang out with you,
Yeah.
and they may be able to give you something.
Right.
But you go, I don't want it.
It feels weird. Then you're indebted to them.
Yeah.
Who knows what.
Bobby's like, we're getting massages. What did you know Woody Allen well? I mean, I remember you were in Hannah and Her Sisters.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
that's
great
right.
movie.
Great movie.
It is. It turned his career around.
One of his
Really?
best, I think.
I agree. Top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Turned his
Was
career
that
around.
what was that like
It
to be?
was. I kept saying, I think it's the first movie he made money off of. And I said, and I'm the only person in it who really brought it over the top. It was. I had a good time working with him. I mean, I really. Here's something. I mean, if I don't know if you guys have ever done a movie, but here's a smart thing he taught us. It was me and a guy named Christian Clemens who did a bunch of television afterwards and films, and we were doing our first scene. It's the first scene I've ever done in a movie.
Uh-huh.
And
You must have been shitting bricks. I mean, this is
Yeah,
terrifying. Woody Allen. This is your opening movie.
Yeah, it was. I was, and it was really, and I kind of could fuck with him because I've been in theater, so I knew his work in terms of theater and stuff because he'd been, so I could fuck with him on that level. I said, because there's all this shit on there, and then we're going to go do this scene, and we shot the first scene. We shot it. We said we're going to rehearse, and we did it. And we got back in, and there had been a bunch of fuck ups, and I said, "Oh, I guess this is, you wanted to do this instead of theater."
Yeah.
Huh? And he didn't really laugh, but I thought, okay, well, at least I gave it a shot. and then he said, okay, we're going to rehearse it again. And then we said, we got one more, and we'll get the cameras right. We did it again, and once we did it again, he said that we got it, and let's move on. He said, I want you to think of everything that we're doing is a rehearsal.
Oh, interesting. Keep you loose.
It was, and that was huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you realized, oh, fuck. I didn't think about it. I didn't worry about it.
Right.
And I still, to this day, I will try to use that, but they go roll them, and you still tighten up.
That's good.
But it really is one of the few lessons I had in my life in terms of just basically dealing with a camera, that in terms of film, because sometimes you're on it for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. If you don't think of it as like something that's got to be done, and just think of it as we're just doing it.
Yeah, that's good. Your Woody Allen joke was too soon, ye.
Oh, wow.
He's not a guy you seem like you can really. You don't picture like
No.
the roast of Woody Allen.
Yeah.
You're roasting David Hasselhoff. You're not roasting Woody.
But what's funny was how that he's when outside of that set, he doesn't seem to be. He's more introverted on the set.
Oh, yeah.
On the set, he's that guy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's when he is that guy, and he's a very good director, and the kids were around.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I'm the one that goes, that was the weird thing is I didn't notice anything. The kids seemed to be, what do I know?
Yeah, yeah.
People, Jacques Hughes, you worked with him, you son of a bitch. Well,
Oh,
what the fuck was
jeez.
like, what are you fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, what was that, 92 or something?
Yeah, and I still, I could go through the whole history of it, and we'll do that on the next one. when you bring me back for Woody Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Epstein Part 3, and whatever did happen at the inside the jail. What was interesting, though, to get back to that was after they took Norton and I, we went in once we got to the fucking, because we had to be out of there.
Yeah.
Now it's like 8:00, and they've got till like 8:30 or something, and they're bringing the first group, and the judge goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I mean, basically, it was a female judge who said, "You've got to be kidding me." She said, "Of all the things going on in New York City, at this point in time, just before Christmas, that you are really going to tell me that you want me to try these people?
All right.
And keep them in jail? What is the matter with you? What planet are you on? Nothing bad happened. It was fine, and they got through in a half, and
Here.
and they
That's a
got
cool
through the first
person
four,
right there.
the next four, and the next four. We all were like, we were out of there. And when we got up, it was like, stop.
Yeah.
Just really go. Get out of here.
Damn.
Man, it's a different time, because just think about being on that bus now. Everybody would have phones out, and all this would be recorded, and then even the jail stuff. You're like, I got to get content at the trial.
They take your phone.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, it's just a better time when you could just live.
Yeah.
Now everything is recorded and filmed.
There's much more freedom, for sure.
Yeah.
There was a lot. I mean, it was really, and it was funny, and it was just silly, and it was goofy. And then they tried to get us, and it's like, you're talking to Norton and I, who were paranoid enough that you've got internal affairs there who are trying to bust the cops who have become, now, have become, because of that fucking show, all the cops know who I am.
Oh, great.
So it was like, these are people, you don't fuck with my friends, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And what are you kidding me? You're going to come here and investigate the cops who got all these people through.
Yeah.
All they did was do their job properly, and you're seeing it as a crime. Fuck you.
Here, here. That's one thing I'll say about cops. They love comedy. I got my moped stolen recently, and they found it, and I went to go pick it up, and they were like, we've heard you. Are you on Opie now? Are you on this and that? I was like, yeah. And they were all going nuts. It was great.
Yeah, no, it is. It makes it. They listen to it.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
they're great.
yeah. They need a laugh.
Yeah,
With that
a
game.
lot more now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so have you been on the road a lot?
I just started.
Hey.
This I was so pissed because I had to stop.
You pissed? Get out of here.
Because I went from December to May 15th. And May 15th I did a new special.
Oh.
And then because everybody was because all of these people were trying to get back into theaters,
Yeah.
I couldn't get back in until they had to push stuff that I did until now.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of still cleaning up the stuff that I hadn't done before. So
Sure.
I was on the road and did New England, and then I go to Warren, Ohio this week and tomorrow. And,
Warren, quit bragging.
yeah, I know. Are you kidding me?
Where? I don't even know where that is.
I don't either.
It's near Akron and kind of near Cleveland.
Sure.
And,
Okay.
And then on to Dayton.
There you go.
Carmel, Indiana. I know that. Please get a pen. Get a pen. And
This is the Build Your Hour Back Up tour.
Yeah, totally. So I gotta say, I'm a fan. I've been watching you for years. Did you know, and you probably do know this, but George Carlin was interviewed years ago, and he said, who do you like? They said, who do you like, coming up? And he said, you and Hedberg.
yeah, it was unbelievable.
I mean, what a
It was huge.
tip of the cap.
And it was huge for me because nobody knew me.
Oh, really?
No. I literally was just on The Daily Show for 2 years, maybe. I was just starting to get known, but not. I was playing clubs and wandering around, and I don't even know if I had my first CD out.
Wow.
And he,
But you were crushing in the clubs, though. I heard like you were a dude that when I was even like, I mean, you were further established at this point, but people would say like Lewis used to crush like stand up New York, all those
it was fun
clubs.
to do.
Yeah.
It was really fun, and it was fun to. And I miss, in a way, I really do miss being in that lineup of like with Gaffigan or Kevin
Sure.
Meaney or Mario Cantone. I mean, the people who I was in the lineups with it was just fun.
Yeah.
You and Mario Cantone back to back is a fun show. That's a lot of anger.
Imagine I'd be standing there screaming about Reagan at the top of my lungs, and then Mario would follow me.
Yeah.
And that was what was great too. None of us had any. We all got such a kick out of it. It wasn't like you were competing with somebody. It was like, great. Now I get to follow that. Great. This will be good because the room is really bouncing around. And Mario wouldn't be on the stage. They'd introduce him. And then he, in the corner, after I had just come off, would start singing as Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do With It? And he would sing that song all the way onto the stage. So now the room's going crazy for another reason.
No, I love it. And
And I saw the best. They don't do it. I don't know if they do it anymore. Where they come in, somebody comes in from like Network or from Comedy Central to watch you. Does
Not
any of
really.
that shit go on? So they were coming in to see Kevin Meaney. It was I forget the show. It was one that John Candy had done the movie, and Kevin was going to be on the TV show, and they were coming in to look at him.
Okay.
It was ABC, and he did a thing called We Are the World.
Yes.
Which is really just spectacular.
That was his signature bit.
It was his signature bit, and it was right at the point where he had it perfected.
Uh-huh.
And I'm following him.
Yeah.
And they're all there to watch him. And the thing to me was always, in terms of that, there was always an inordinate amount of, you're going to go from, eating fucking gruel to eating gruel with nuts.
But it's just a rehearsal. That's how you got to look at it,
But he got up there and crushed. It was one of the most extraordinary auditions, because I'd seen the piece 17, 20, 30 times. And I was like, holy, how did he find, that thing where you go, how did they find the next level? And the audience went berserk.
Yeah.
Berserk.
I love it.
And then I had to follow him.
Oh, jeez.
And I walked on stage and I said, you have no desire to see me. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take some time right now to just admire how fucking funny he is.
Yeah, you got to do
and
that.
how good this bit was. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit down. And when you're done, I'll get up and talk to you. And the audience, it was great.
Yeah.
Well done.
And they went on for like 7 minutes. It was great.
I remember we used to do these competitions in New York called March Madness, and it was comic versus comic. I called it 8 Mile for Jews, basically. But you go head to head against another comic, your minute versus their minute. Then it would go up to like 4 minutes versus their 4 minutes. And I went against this comic, James Mattern, who was unbelievable at crowd work.
Unreal.
So he goes up there, and I just have to watch him just fucking eviscerate. Just the room is on fire. He's just going, look at this guy and look at this, just murdering. I'm like, I can't follow this
because you're going to do standard material.
Bits. So I just had to go up and I said, I can't do that, and it got a huge laugh, and that kind of like saved me. I was just being like, I can't do what he did, and it took a minute. They all kind of applauded, and then I was able to go into my jokes.
Yeah,
but it was like. But you do have to acknowledge.
You got to address.
Or you just get buried.
Exactly.
You get buried. Yeah, you got to. I mean, that's the thing that I never understood. And you see it all the time where you got that fucking idiot on stage. And the audience hates them.
Yes.
And they're acting. It's either that they love them, or B, that they're missing the point. I call it the Dale Carnegie School of Comedy, where they're just, couldn't be happier with the shit that they're doing.
Yeah.
And it drives me fucking nuts.
And there's no connection at all.
No connection. So I never understand how you don't recognize that and say. I mean, when I've hit the shitter, when I was first working and hitting the shitter, I would make jokes about it.
Sure, you have.
I would lie down. I would say, what I'm going to do now. I think it's seeing me that's bothering you. I'm going to lie down on the stage and do the whatever it took. But you have to acknowledge it.
You have to, and that's something you only get from just doing reps and actually bombing every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. And being able and so that you can get comfortable up.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, because I saw you, I think it was on CNN, or it was many years ago. It must have been honestly close to 15 years ago. So I don't remember the exact context of this, but you were on with a bunch of politicians and you were just being funny. And they were asking you serious questions about policy. And at one point you went, I'm a comedian.
Yes.
Why are you asking me this? And I do feel like comics now, not every comic, they weren't always this political. Not every comic feels political now. So much feels...
You have to have a take on everything.
Yeah, I guess my question is basically did you feel like they were what are they doing? What is this? Why are they going to you for those types of answers when we're not in this for that?
No.
And I stopped going on their shows.
Oh, good.
I said, I'm going to go on as a comic, and you're going to talk to me as a comic, and that's it. I'm not here. I'm not getting. You're not going to push me in the position of being, a commentator. You're not going to push me into a position of an editorialist. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my comedy, and so I fucking and Ben Stein. I was on a show with him, and there were a bunch of others. I made a joke about Schwarzenegger. The fact that he was running for governor, or was governor of California, and I said something to the effect that, Jews never really trusted Austrians, and I can't remember what the context was. It was a stupid joke. It was a Jewish joke that was, it's a funny, and I'd done it before, and it's a funny joke, and the people there laughed, but Ben Stein went, Well, you know that Arnold has given a lot of money to Shut up!
Come on.
Not why we're here.
Yes.
I said, do you think, I said, Arnold, why don't you call him tonight and tell him I said the joke? Okay?
Yeah.
What is the matter with you, Ben?
Jeez, and he's a comedy guy. He should get
but
that.
not.
And if anyone shouldn't trust him, it's his wife. I mean, that's
all of them.
all of them. Yeah. It is amazing how articulate Arnold could be. Where you'd watch him, and he's giving these he gave that speech about the night of the broken glasses and all, and you're like, wow, he's so articulate and interesting. And then he's just grabbing asses as they walk by. I mean, it's really an amazing.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's a charming guy. I mean, Pumping Iron was
movie
awesome.
star.
Yeah.
Pumping Iron was awesome.
He's an A-list movie star.
Yeah.
He's they know how to charm you.
Well, he'll be back. Either way. But yeah, Jon Stewart said the same thing. He was on, I think, Tucker Carlson. This is 10, 12, 15 years ago, and they were like, what the hell, John? He's like, I go on after puppets.
Yeah.
I'm a comedy guy. It's a jokey show.
But everybody now feels the need to they have to have an opinion.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, an opinion is easier than writing a punchline.
You get more retweets being like, this is an outrage, than just writing an observational joke.
Exactly.
I mean...
Seriously?
I think so.
Oh,
I think
That's the tough... I mean, because I find it... I always get irritated when I get... which happens because I get... I've been up there and I'm bellowing like a lunatic, and I don't really have a punchline. I'm still trying to find the bit, and I'll finish, and they all go, and and you go, no, and all it reminds me of, you got to find. Now I got to fucking think about this again. I got to find a laugh somewhere.
I know.
If they applaud at the end of a series of punchlines, it's like an acknowledgement they like the bit. That's fine. But if they applaud just because they agree, you're like,
yes,
who gives a shit?
Yeah,
Clapter.
Yeah,
Clapter. Yeah, it's true. It's weird.
It's weird. It's more of an agreement show than a comedy show.
Yeah,
it's weird when they do it in you'll be in New York City, and some guy's like, I think gays should be allowed to get married. You're like, yeah, it's Manhattan, dude.
Yeah, right.
What? This isn't an edgy take.
No.
You see anything or pro Roe v. Wade, you better have a fucking good punchline if you're doing that in the West Village.
Tell me why you don't think gays should get married. Now we're listening. Now that's comedy. I want to hear that take.
Yeah, really. And there's 6 good jokes there. There are. I mean, I forget who it was. It was the first time I the first one who did the joke, and there were probably 10 people in the country during the, that said, the gay thing is really, let them get married.
Right.
You want to suffer, you fucks?
Yeah.
Let them get married. They'll know what suffering is. They have no idea.
Exactly.
This is what they wanted. And there's 500 variations.
Of course. Fran Lebowitz said that in her book. She was like, gays want to get in the military and get married? What the fuck are we doing?
Really. And it's really, it's sitting there. That's where you go, and then you might go further with it.
Yeah, but then there's people who have with no sense of humor going, wait, so you don't think?
Yeah.
So you're homophobic. You're like, wait, how'd you get homophobic? I'm like, I'm trying to get a rise out of you.
Yeah, I know. I have to now, but part of it is basically punching both sides.
Yes.
It's like you're kind of going, okay, you fucking lefty idiots over there, and then I'm punching over here to the right, and then I got to punch the left. Because that woke shit is, it's madness.
It's kooky.
It's exactly, they meet right, they don't have any clue that they meet right here.
It's bad. It is bad for comedy. I mean, it really is bad. I
believe it'll pass.
It'll pass.
I think
it'll
so
pass,
too.
but you guys are getting fucked.
Thank you. From the horse's mouth. Appreciate it.
Looking for something different to cover up that hole in your wall? Displate is that cool new metal poster that you'll want in every room. They have millions of cool designs available featuring gaming, movies, comics, and anime. Displate also features officially licensed designs including Star Wars, Netflix, and many more. Lots of cool stuff you can get on this site. It only takes 20 seconds to hang a Displate. No power tools needed, no damages, no frustrations. I'm a very irritable person. I have no housing skills, so this comes in handy. Once you mount one, you can switch out a new plate in a flash. With every one that you buy, Displate plants a tree. Click the link in our description to see some of our favorite Displates and save up to 29%. Get 25% off when you buy 1 or 2 and 29% off when you buy 3 or more. Discounts will automatically be applied to your cart when you click the link or use code DRUNK when you visit display.com. That's display.com, code DRUNK, or click that link in our show notes. God bless America and God bless Sheath underwear. Mark's wearing them right now. I'm saving them for the weekend. Sheath underwear keeps your balls off your leg. It's hot as hell out there. Yep. The idea for Sheath came from its founder, U.S. Army soldier Robert Patton, during his second tour in Iraq. This is a real patriot here and a nice guy. If it worked for him, it'll work for you. I wear Sheath underwear. They're great. You do too.
Yeah.
I look forward to wearing them. There's your pairs. You're like, and then there's your Sheath where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna.
So true.
Support the show. Support this awesome veteran-owned company. Go to sheathunderwear.com. Use promo code DRUNK and get 20% off your first order. Every order comes with Sheath 100% money-back guarantee. That's sheathunderwear.com. Promo code DRUNK. Get Sheath underwear and let them support your ball bag.
Hell yeah.
Who you are. I mean, it really is. It's bullshit.
Well, we push through, but
yeah.
It's like a gnat where you're like, all right, come on, get out of the way.
Yeah. But it is cool to see live comedy now more than ever because it does have almost like a prohibition vibe where you're in the club and you're like, this is the place we can say it. You know, I was doing these jokes about the Queen in Louisville and they're killing, and I'm like, I can't say this shit on any show.
Yeah.
No show will let me say these jokes.
Right.
But in a club, they were loving them too much to the point where I'm like, all right, guys. I mean, she is dead. Go easy on her.
That is funny, isn't it?
They're like, fuck that bitch. I'm like, she's dead.
Bitch. Yeah. Where'd you get bitch?
They were getting pretty mad. I'm like,
But this is why comedy's so popular right now. Live comedy we are in a huge boom because I think it's like the Jimmy Fallons of the world. I was on Fallon recently, and my best joke got cut because it involved Amber Heard or something. I can't even remember what I said. Or involved Biden or something. And they're like, we don't know. And you're like, oh, so you're out on comedy.
They're more concerned with being likable than funny.
Yes.
And that's death to funny.
Death
I mean,
to smooching.
I did the Daily Show yesterday, and I had a great time. My best laugh got cut, and I'm like, you were scared to put this in there, and it killed for your crowd.
I know.
What you did it? What?
I did it yesterday.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah,
wow.
and my best joke got cut.
No shit.
That's the state of the industry today, and
I'm
that's why
sure
it's all
they
going
were
online.
I'm sure they were like, we don't want to deal with the pushback. For
Sure.
this. But it wasn't a malicious joke. But I can tell that they were nervous.
What was the joke?
The joke was okay. So
we'll cut this later.
And I'll be sure to cut it before I send it out to my social media people.
But they couldn't have been nicer when I was there, and I want to preface it. I don't know who cut it or why they cut it, but I said we were doing a bunch of talk about trans jokes, and I had a joke go viral with the trans world for being a pro-trans joke. So that's, I think, why it caught steam, because there aren't a lot of pro-trans jokes out there. So then I had a thing where this blogger came after, like all these people were like, this is our guy, and I was kind of like, slow down, I don't want to be your guy, whatever. And I'm just nervous, I don't want any responsibility, I'm just a comic, and this one blogger who tried to ruin my career in 2013 basically said he made this horrible joke in 2013, he's a bad person. I shit you not, she's now a man.
Look at that.
And I said, you were a woman in 2013. It's not possible that I'm a better man. I got an applause break on the show, and they cut it, and I was kind of like, oh man, that was my like biggest pop of the show. So it was a bummer. But I don't know the reasons they cut these things. And
were you doing stand up?
I wasn't doing stand up. It was an interview. It was. And Trevor.
Oh, that's great.
And Trevor couldn't have been nicer and more gracious. And I don't know.
Oh, good.
Why
I didn't know. That's great.
Yeah,
that's
it's on
great.
YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah, no, I will. I'll watch it. That's great.
But that joke got cut.
That's a fucking funny joke. That's weird.
That's my issue. That's my fear with kind of the wokeness and the where it's not based on fact. It's
but
based
they
on
yelled at him about stuff. That's why.
I'm sure he gets.
Well, they do. I mean, they will. I've watched him yell about stuff, and and I've been there.
I bet it wasn't him.
I bet I talked to him.
I bet it wasn't him who did it.
And it could have been Comedy Central.
Of course.
I would imagine.
But I'm sure they didn't want to deal with it.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure it was Comedy Central because it's just so because Trevor's been caught on certain things where you're not caught.
Sure.
He is one of the most supportive of comics that I've ever met.
Yeah, he's a real comic.
He's a great dude.
Yeah, no, he gets it.
I don't think it was him.
No,
I can't imagine.
I think it was some scared produder who was like, I don't want to deal with it.
And it wouldn't be a producer there. It's somebody at Comedy Central because they will step in and do their, look at it. It's the we got it's That's it. It's that and nothing. There's hardly anything on this fucking station.
I know,
Yeah.
but they don't realize that that's the reason that it's failing. Like the Emmys this year was like the lowest rated ever.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel does some, bullshit joke. It was very innocuous, and he got called a racist and a Klan member and all this. And you're like, this is why no one's watching.
Well,
we're just done with it.
The problem is these shows already seem out of touch, and then you
Sure.
throw that on top of it.
Right.
They're dead. Of
Done.
course, they want to watch a podcast where nothing's cut. It's just people talking. Like, of course, that's the popularity of podcasts. And I still like the idea of shows where you do an interview for a crowd because you have to turn it on. You have to be funny.
Yeah.
The lights, the camera. It's
I
fun.
love that. But
Showbiz.
Yeah.
But
That's a good one, yeah. But and Trevor's easier, I think, probably to have done it with. He didn't do it. Wasn't a lot of setup joke stuff, was there?
No, it was just a conversation.
Exactly,
Yeah,
because that's what drives me nuts when I do those things. Is that now we're going to go over what you do. What?
You can just say Byron Allen.
Can't we just talk?
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't understand it. It was when I was born, when I literally was a kid. That's what they did. There were people like on certain shows, Jack Parr, which is legendary way back.
Yeah.
But he'd have somebody on the show literally in the course of a year 100 times.
Wow.
And they were on the show for specifically the person for what you're talking about and what you guys do here. They were on the show for conversation's sake.
Yeah.
I watched an
nice.
old Tom Snyder interview with Jerry Seinfeld, and Tom Snyder is such a great interviewer.
Yeah.
Like he did it was so different than what you see. It was almost like more like a podcast, than a show. It was pretty
and
cool.
The one thing, and I did like was when Ferguson was on. When I did, we got along immediately really well, and so the second time I came on, he literally took the card and put it in front of me, and ripped it, and then he just started talking. And what you found out in those conversations is much more interesting.
Of course.
Than I don't want to sit there and go, and then I was in the movie with two weasels, and it's going to be spectacular. I love the weasels. Fuck you.
Right.
We were talking about living in the East Village, then got down to the specific bar we would go to, then realized we were both at the same fucking bar at the same fucking time.
Wow.
And he was a raging. This is when he had really made the switch. He wasn't going to drink anymore.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I said I was going into high gear. And so we were at the same bar. And to sit there and discover that we're in the same neighborhood at the same time and drinking at the same bar and didn't see each other because that's how fucking drunk we are.
Wow.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, we met at Epstein's. So, yeah, coincidence. But, yeah, that's the way to do it, real conversation. And that's why TV is kind of feels like it's fizzling out a little bit.
But you were on like a golden age. Like that Daily Show lineup you were on is epic. I mean, that was like, it was you, Carell, Colbert.
God.
Who else was on it? Was that Helms on that one too?
Helms came on later after Carell left.
Was Attell on when you were there?
Huh?
Was Dave Attell on when you were there?
Everyone, because they were all on. Because I was on from the first week.
Wow.
I'm the longest. I'm the Andy Rooney of that.
Yeah.
Just in terms of longevity, I just think I went to everybody. I mean, being there with, and when Carell and Colbert and me.
Beth. Remember Beth?
Beth Littleford.
Yeah.
She was our Wyatt. I was terrific. Jason and but Carell and Colbert was in Asif he was terrific. The Vance DeGeneres, who then ended up having to work with. He ended up working with his sister again.
Oh, fun.
A. Whitney Brown was at the time really something.
Uh-huh.
He's somebody who was really one of those guys who came on, and then he kind of disappeared after that. And I don't know. He's very Hassan. Yeah, it was a great group. But Colbert and Carell.
Unreal.
And when I'd be there about once every 2 weeks, and then and you just watch the two of them, and it was like fucking. Are you kidding me? They're brilliant.
Yeah, that was
just brilliant.
Comedy Central was
and that was before they were considered brilliant.
Right. Yeah, they had to earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had that. You had South Park. Comedy Central was really humming back then.
I mean, they still have South Park and they still have The Daily Show.
Well,
but these other shows they're supporting it too. Like I remember Root of All Evil, the show you hosted.
Oh yeah.
That was I love because we were big, Greg Giraldo fans and.
Oh yeah. That cast of comics we had on that show is Giraldo, Patton Oswalt, Kathleen Madigan.
Wow.
Paul F. Tompkins.
Yeah,
Tompkins.
It was just a great group of comics. And you'll love this story. This is perfect. This will help you when you're sitting in Los Angeles, wondering who you're going to find to hold the sword that you can run against. So they call. We had done basically 2 seasons, and we had finally figured out the show.
Yeah.
And I had figured out that I was never going in the writers' room again, and made a speech about it, and said it's going to be best for me and best for you. You guys are really great. We're not going to be, as far as I'm concerned, bringing in comics. You talk to them from the beginning and punch up their stuff. This is not brain surgery. I'm tired of fucking nitpicking about this shit. Everything you write, they will get a laugh. These are the best fucking comics you can find. Andy Kindler.
Yes.
We had a spectacular group. It's like there's no need for this. So we finally had figured out how to do it because the setup was kind of odd. The way in which we were trying to do this. It's debating 2 things. There was an odd something that we had to figure out in terms of the math of it, the math of the comedy of it, and we'd done it.
Yeah.
And then we get a call from Comedy Central going, we really we want to do another season with you, but could you come back in and pitch it again? We've done 2 seasons. I went, I'm not.
It's like when the Yankees tried to make Joe Torre take a pay cut mid-contract. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I just said I'm not doing it. And then my 2 other producers, aren't you? I said, you go in and talk. I'm not doing it. I'm not going in there. I will not.
That's so disrespectful.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
We've been on for 2 seasons. They put us on in the summer, and I said that was a mistake. That's why the numbers sucked. Well, they sucked because it was the summer, and the people watching it were the kids who were in college, they would get around and they'd go, "Fuck that! We were the show to watch on that night.
Right.
You fucking morons." So it's not like we were like a Wednesday or Thursday. We were on. I don't think on a Friday or a Saturday. It was like a perfect shot. We have to go on again, and the numbers will go up. There's no need. And I said, no, you fucking assholes. You're going to fuck me. Yeah. And I'm not going to let you fuck me.
Good for you, because I would have just been like, all right, I guess we have to pitch this again.
I couldn't have pitched it again.
Wow.
I literally, by about the 4th time but the 2nd, 3rd week they were giving notes, I just told the other 2 producers who were really good, I said, I can't listen to them. I can't listen to their notes. I'm not going to be here. I said it just...
Crazy you expect, if you're on cable, to not get those notes.
Yeah. Especially after, HBO had established the fact that you might want to let your creatives do it and figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that'll never be not a thing.
Which is why and you guys, here's what you guys really need is a director.
Yeah. Seems like nothing great creatively comes from committee. Or let alone suits in a boardroom.
The smaller the group, the better.
Oh
it is.
yeah.
Mob is when it gets fucking bad.
Yep. That's true.
Every hang is better. This is perfect. We add another person, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
I think maybe 4 is okay, but once you get bigger than 4.
Once you get bigger than 4, that was generally the case. I mean, that was the thing with Tough Crowd, another good show.
Yeah.
Classic. The Bill Burr, and there'd be 4 or 5 of us on that, and their regular group. But but having Giraldo on that show was spectacular.
Oh yeah.
There was just nobody like him.
No, smart and biting. He did his homework. Always prepared.
And also the master of coming up with substitutes for dirty words.
Really?
He was brilliant.
Interesting.
He was insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, literally, they would say you can't say queef. Well,
You would've been
all right.
I'm out. Yeah. That's where I draw the line.
You can't say this. And so he would go back, and 2 days later he'd come up with some fucking other ridiculous.
Vaginal fart.
Yeah, really, something.
Yeah, that's good. Sometimes that makes it a better joke.
Yeah, that was really.
Vag whoosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, tough crowd with Greg was like.
Yeah.
I mean, when he got cooking, man, I mean, everyone talks about that Dennis Leary moment.
Sure.
But, I mean, it was like the ultimate, like, comic versus, like, kind of celeb.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, it's like justice for all comics.
Yes.
And not just comics, but, like, the guy who's, like, thinks he's too cool for school.
Yeah.
And then the guy who actually is cool and doesn't have to fucking act cool.
Exactly.
Because he just is.
Yeah, Leary's literally wearing sunglasses and a leather jacket. You're like, come
In
on,
front of comics, it's like, you need to hang out with more comics.
Yeah.
Because they'll fucking crucify you for that shit. You show up to the Comedy Cellar with the slightest fashion risk.
Oh,
I know that
forget
Keith
about it.
Robinson's going to be like, oh, look at what we have here. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck. I thought I could pull off a jean jacket. I fucked up.
I still have that at the Gap. I'm trying something on, and I'm like, I just can't. I picture people shitting on it. And I take it right off.
Rachel Feinstein showed up one night in a blazer, and he's like, oh, the assistant DA is here.
Yeah, you have court today. Yeah, there's a million picture day. Oh, yeah. I got a convertible. I rented a car last weekend, and they upgraded me to a convertible. Couldn't put the top down. I just couldn't do it. I was like, I can't put the top down. I'm too vulnerable. I'm not a cool guy. So, yeah, left it up.
I started wearing. I made the fashion choice to wear, not in New York, but a bit in New York, even early on. But really on the road, I started wearing suits, not suits, but a coat and a tie, and generally the tie was kind of the way it is on the Daily Show. I really would not the tie. That was a thing that I always believed in. You don't bring it up. It's like you. Because it's to me, it was the way I wore it when I was working in a government office.
Right.
It was the one. It was the way in which I could wear that. I had to wear a tie, and it had to be knotted. But I wouldn't. Fuck you. I'm not taking it the whole way up. So I would wear. I would try to look nicer than anybody in the room because I knew it might shut them the fuck up.
Interesting.
Because they'd be stuck trying to figure out where. He's saying this shit, but where did he get that? How do you get those clothes?
Right.
Saying that crap. So in a sense, it was like, yeah, you see, I'm doing okay, you fuck.
Right.
Okay? Things are,
right. I'm a professional.
And also, it was, and I initially would talk about it. I'd say, you wear a coat and tie, you can say anything you fucking want, and that's why you listen to these assholes who come on TV and were like your senator and shit.
Yeah.
Because they're wearing a tie.
Trump.
That's why I'm wearing a tie.
That's very smart. I mean, it really is, but it is, I mean, the dry cleaning would just drive me crazy.
No, yeah, but it's a small price to pay.
And you don't have to think about what you're wearing. Just throw the suit on and move on with your
A
life.
suit does look badass on stage.
It does.
Yeah, and it was really the biggest pain in the ass was never dry cleaning. It was dragging those fucking things around because you had to have at least a couple of sport coats.
Right.
God damn it.
But a suit is nice, but a wrinkly suit is worse than a T-shirt.
Yes.
It brings you all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you're one of the losers in Glengarry Glen Ross.
Coffee's for closers.
So I just rewatched that movie over the summer. It's fucking
It's
incredible.
a great movie.
So
Oh my
good.
God.
Mammoth.
Yeah.
He's an asshole, but
Do you know him?
I wrote plays.
I know. It was in Yale,
I
right?
was at drama school.
Yeah.
And,
Whoa.
I call it drama school. And
So you knew him a little bit.
he was a tutor there, a mentor.
Oh,
Supposedly,
wow.
he was not a mentor, but he was hired to. They had 4 playwrights that they brought in that were basically to work with the playwrights at the school, and one of them was David Mamet, and he was just an asshole.
Yeah.
And he was my age, so it was like you're sending in a guy my age to tell me, and he would say to us, this is, in order to, and he was right, but, you don't tell us this. We're really there to kind of learn how to write. So, in order to get your work done, you need to spend at least $2,000 a year sending out your scripts.
Jesus.
And it's we're fucking broke.
Yeah.
It costs us a fucking fortune to come to this fucking place, and where were you supposed to put the money together?
Yeah.
And then he would quote Russian.
Oh boy.
And and he would, and so my girlfriend at the time said, "Do you speak Russian?" And he goes, "No." She goes, "Well, you're an ass."
Yeah. Damn.
He was kind of a dick, and it was this very kind of, there was an arrogance to him dealing with us. Here's your reading list. Well, we don't have to read the books, okay? It was kind of like my friend.
What did he want you to read?
You're going to go. Boleslavsky, you heard of Boleslavsky? Yeah. Stanislavski, he's in the same school as Stanislavski.
Okay.
There's Boleslavsky, books on acting.
Yeah. Oh, that's like a method, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay. It's a way in which to go at it. And I can't remember what Boleslavsky, I was so angry that it was on the reading list. And my other friend tore the reading list up in his face. It was like,
wow.
we were really pissed.
Yeah.
It was just, and the other guys were pretty, I'm going to read your stuff. He read his stuff.
Right.
We're supposed to read our stuff. He's reading his stuff to us. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
That really cuts to the chase.
Yeah.
Edit those other two.
Who was cool? Like, did any big playwrights come in that were
Nobody.
really cool?
Nobody that you would know. Arthur Kopit, who you wouldn't know, but who wrote some really great. Oh, Dad, poor Dad, Mama's hung in the closet, and I'm feeling so sad. Title alone, great.
Yeah, sure.
And then there's the other guys. I don't think Bob Oletti, you wouldn't know some of the others. They were really. Robert Penn Warren was there, the one who wrote All the King's Men, but not to teach playwriting. But he was so old. It was just, you were going, God, Robert Penn Warren, this will be great.
Yeah.
One of my great books, one of the greatest books. And you went to that first kind of seminar he's teaching, you're going, oh boy, I'm not gonna last 10 minutes. What's he saying? I mean, he's really genius, but you had to care a lot more than I did.
Yeah. Well, isn't comedy so much more fun than playwriting?
Oh yeah, but not. You know what's funny? It's people. People. Comedy is tough. Playwriting's tougher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, the isolation's got to be tough, right?
Everything about it. I mean, think about it. We create our own realities up there. It's just us, and we can, and there's a certain bit of, you learn, there's a certain bit of, like, not magic, but there's a certain bit of bullshit to the thing that once you that you could live on, certain comics do, but at least what you're, the tools you turn to save your fucking ass.
Yeah.
But playwriting, Jesus. Because if you think they come after you as a comic, you write something and
really.
Oh fuck!
I didn't know that.
Well, imagine you go there, you write something, and then it ends up they write about it in the New York Times and say that you're a piece of shit.
Wow! But it's a play; it's fiction.
Yeah, but they don't care.
That crowd is more easily offended than the comedy.
And then,
who do you think's going to get more easily offended? A writer for the New Yorker or some guy to strip mall in Missouri?
Yeah. But you devoted 3 years of your life to something, and they come in and say, it didn't work.
Right.
That's the other. It's not like just they don't. It's one thing to go into a club and they don't laugh. It's another thing that somebody writes down.
Yeah.
Everybody hated you. It was.
Right.
I had a.
Everybody hated you is a good title.
Yeah, that's true.
My favorite was I got a review in something called New West, which was the New York magazine of the West Coast of California. So New West had this thing where they wanted to they reviewed a play of mine, and it was not a good production at all. There were real problems with it, and I tried to get one of the actors just fired because it was going to kill the play. It was the center of the play. It was. I needed Broderick Crawford in the part. I needed some fucking mean heavy, and I got some fucking. The guy wanted to be liked.
Right.
Like, no, I can't. You can't stand on stage with a rifle in your hand, doing stuff and talking about being nice about fuck you.
Yeah.
I need you to blow people up. So the thing just didn't work. But the review I got is that it began with first, let it be noted that none of Louis Black's plays should ever be produced in the state of California again.
Ooh, wow, kicked out of the state.
Kicked out of the state.
Jesus.
And that was and by that point I'd been through enough stuff that I could handle it a bit, and one of the reasons I can handle it was that I must. If I got this guy so upset, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and that he didn't. And it was the one thing about. Plus, you got people. It's the same thing if you're going in to pitch a project, and you got somebody sitting across from the table from you that has never done what you do.
Yeah.
And that's what you're dealing with a lot of the times with these critics who you know who also they don't, you know, if they know anything about, you know, they should be able to separate the acting from the writing from the directing. That's what their job is, but they never fucking know.
They'll never know it like we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what a psycho to write that down and publish it. That's insane behavior.
What's the name of the guy in The Sweet Smell of Success? Every critic still thinks they're that fucking guy.
Yes.
They still think, like, I'll destroy you in my column. And you're like, it's 2022, dude.
Yeah, right?
You don't have the pull you thought you had.
Yes. And now I can find you. You know,
it is
like,
amazing
where you live.
to
Fuck that guy. That's like so harsh. I hate this guy. They can hide behind their little pen and their magazine and their newspaper. Now I'm going right on Facebook and Zillow and on GPS.
And I did a show with Mark Lynn Baker at the Public Theater that both of us, the audience went nuts every night. It was a short show, it's 55 minutes. So, and it's one of those shows I described as you're home for 3 hours before you realize you didn't like it. Because it's so short, we didn't take up your time, and you're
like
in the bar.
sex.
You're in the bar by 9.
Yes,
best show ever.
That's great. And is theater dead? Not dead, but now it's all Mamma Mia.
Well, Broadway's in trouble because of COVID. I mean,
Yeah,
COVID
Broadway's
hurt
got
Broadway.
problems. There's some real stuff. It's like stand up. There's some really great stuff that's fomenting and over here, and then there's some just we're going to be dealing with that other stuff. Phantom is finally finished.
And Dear Evan Hansen, which was kind of shocking because that was a hit. That was like the hottest ticket in town a couple years ago, and now it's just dead.
But if you go to Strange Loop, is the unbelievable. It's I'm gonna just say it. It is unfucking-lievable.
Okay.
It's a
Strange Loop.
It's a musical.
Is that your rec? That's a good rec.
Good
Strange
rec.
Loop.
I mean, it is. It's one of these things that it got. I think it won the Tony. He got it for best. It's. I think it's the way Hamilton is great and it's really remarkable. This one is also that good, but it's good in the sense of this guy gets so much off of his chest. The two of you, I think, will go nuts. I think you'll get a kick out of it because he really goes after like. This thing where we go through our careers and get the shit kicked out of us, and he goes through every moment of it and does some of it musically.
Right.
And his parents really are, and he's gay and he's overweight, and it brings in all his problems, but it's done really blisteringly funny. It's unbelievable.
Oh wow! All right.
It's really it's one of the few things that I've said to people, go to it and they've liked it. And and all right, let's get something straight right now. Those of you who are listening, if this is the kind of thing you're gonna go, it upset me. If you get upset about shit, you don't go.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't want to hear
go
about
anywhere.
it.
Yeah. Stay
at
home.
home.
Close the blinds.
Yeah, really.
Turn your phone
End
off.
it. Run into a sword.
Yeah.
And I normally do not push anything, but that's well worth the time and energy and effort.
All right.
Good
I
rec.
love it.
Wait, I'll stop. Go back down. I just want to read that up a little. Right there. Strange Loop is the big, black, and queer-ass great American musical for all. That's a hell of a review. This guy did not write your
Let's
review.
do it.
No, he didn't. But it is worth it. And he is really funny.
All right.
Writer. And relentless.
Oh, good.
It's one of those things you go, it's that thing where you kind of go where somebody does 5 toppers and he does like 12 toppers in a song. You go, God, he's got to stop now.
Yeah.
And you're really laughing and he doesn't stop. And it's partly because it's so bitter. And I think you guys enjoy that.
Yes. Hell yeah.
It's really something.
I want to feel something. All right, bring it on.
Louis, do you have any pet peeves?
Everything. Is there something I'm supposed to like? I like this musical. As you can see, I like this musical because this guy is so fucking angry, can't see straight. I got a lot of things that bother me. If they don't stop taking this fucking, and it's everybody, and it bothers everybody, and it just has got to stop. You pay for somebody to be on the phone and answer the phone and direct you to who to talk to now.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't have a machine that goes, what is your problem? Is it A? Fuck you. My problem isn't A, B, or C. My problem isn't, is it something technical? Yes. Could explain it in just a few words. I can't explain it.
That's the
you
worst.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah, because press 1, at least we're getting somewhere. This is now very vague, where I'm just speaking.
I always curse into it too, and I wonder if cursing, they have like some robot sensor that pushes you further back on hold.
Maybe.
They can be like, this guy sucks. Put them back.
I've had that paranoia, but I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I'd rather be back there. Because what I find is if I continue to yell, eventually it goes. It kind of can't deal with you, and it sends you to somebody.
Squeaky wheel.
Yeah.
I always wonder.
Because the zero doesn't work.
That used to be the move.
The operator, the zero, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that was the move.
That used to be the move.
Yeah,
gone.
They got hip to that. I always wonder if a celebrity's ever called in to yell at customer service, like a musician, and then their song comes on when they're on hold.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've always wondered, that's got to have happened at some point.
I don't think Springsteen's doing his own customer service.
You don't think Stevie Nicks is on the phone with Orbits? All right.
Yeah, that drives me nuts. There's a lot that really makes me crazy. I mean,
that's a good one.
It's gotten to the point with a lot of things where it's kind of like stupid makes me comment. There ought to be, and it has to be done. Whether we like it or not, and I know this is a stupid thing, but it's true. You have to teach civics. Whether anybody likes it or not, you have to actually teach. Did you ever have to take civics?
I did, yeah.
Did you?
No.
See?
Yeah.
And that explains a lot of your work.
Lewis Black, everybody. Thank you.
Is there, I want to ask, well, first off, is there anything you want to plug? Is there anything like tour dates? You got Indiana coming up. I've got. If you go to lewisblack.com, it can tell you more. But I'll be in this week. It's Warren and Dayton and Carmel, Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Then we go to Albuquerque and Tucson, and then we go to Phoenix, and then we're coming into Riverside.
Closed.
And then it's San Luis Obispo. Very nice. It's one of the few places they didn't allow you to smoke outside early on.
Wow.
God, did that enrage me. Talk about being a peeve. And then San Francisco and Palm Desert, be 3,000 degrees. San Diego, Los Angeles, Eugene.
All right, you are out there.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing that. I don't get back until, and then the other thing I'd like to plug, which is, do you guys like? Did you ever read Vonnegut?
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, you wonder. I mean, you know, but most people do, but that seem to be as nuts as you two. But most people do.
Yeah.
But there's a Vonnegut museum now in library in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And due to circumstances that seem to be problematic for them, I'm the chairman of the board of their.
No way.
Yeah, I am.
That's amazing.
That is really cool.
Well, it is. I said, "Are you sure?" Yes. Yes, we're sure. Are you really sure? Yes, we really want. Look, I'm just telling you, you have to sign something, since I don't know what I'm doing, that I can't go to jail. Because I really don't know what's up. And it was mainly to help them fundraise. And I said, if you really think I can attract money, great, because it's a great, if you're ever out, when you're out there working, it's great.
I'm down.
It's a really good. It's got like the stuff that he wrote. It's all sorts of things that really are interesting. And there's a letter that's worth seeing just from the standpoint. There's a letter sitting there that he wrote to his father. His father wrote to him I think just before he went to war, or during that time frame. And Vonnegut never opened it, and in his will he said he wanted no one to open it.
Ooh.
And it just sits there. That's worth going to the museum for.
Wow,
Because
that's
you
heavy.
never walk out of the museum thinking,
Right.
what the fuck was that? And there's some really great stuff there, and they do some great work. It's banned book. It's now
Is it
banned
downtown
books.
Indianapolis? It's downtown Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
And it's banned books week, and the Slaughterhouse-Five has been banned in a ton of places recently.
Really?
Yeah,
Crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
By the way, whenever you say a book is banned, that is reason to read it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, it's like
exactly.
like when they said you can't read Mouse.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know.
Mouse? You can't read about the fucking Holocaust?
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
That is like,
Yeah, 'cause, yeah,
that's a
there's-
level away from Holocaust denial.
There's
to
a,
me.
there's a nude cartoon.
Yeah, a
in it.
nude fucking mouse.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't a mouse. Was it a mouse? Yeah, I think it was a mouse. It was
Yeah.
a naked mouse.
Yeah.
Well, some people just don't like fiction. You know, the
But, you
Holocaust.
really, but it's well worth but it really is unbelievable.
I'll definitely
right.
check it out next time. Now, finally, I won't be dreading Indianapolis as much as
No, it's well worth. No, it's worth the. And if you go, let me know because
will.
He's got
I've
pull.
got some suck there, man.
Yeah.
I can get you 2 free lattes.
By the way, we're drinking coconut. We didn't even say we're drinking this week.
Oh,
Coconut milk latte. Never had it. Pretty good.
Very
It's not
nice.
bad. It's
Very
not a
nice.
bad. I just wanted it because I can't drink in the. I drink wine normally, and I can't drink in the afternoons.
Oh, that Epstein
Next-
wine.
Yeah, that phenomenal.
Next time we'll get you some really good wine. We'll do this at
Yes.
night. We'll make it a night app.
If we do it tonight, I'll do it. And the other thing I
got
wanted
it.
to say before I left is that I don't know if you knew that the thing we were going to talk about at the beginning, that I got these email. We did a new T-shirt. The T-shirt
Oh, I did hear about this.
Comedy.
Yes, yes.
and there's the T-shirt.
Yeah, I got a similar T-shirt.
And yours has an exclamation point.
Yeah, mine's more fun.
It is.
Comedy.
It is. No,
Yeah.
and mine's more dry. Fuck
Yeah.
you. And the E is actually turned around the other way. I don't know why it's presented like that.
Oh, okay.
And and I wanted you to know, because I got these 3 emails and that about it. I mean, 3 tweets about it, and one guy had said, "You fucking old man, fuck! You steal this guy. You've got nothing left but to steal some really brilliant young comics fucking
jeez.
T-shirt idea." And I just wanted you to know we would not have thought of it.
No. Great
and
minds.
and I'm sorry I wrote that to you.
And I really feel badly, and I'll get you 2 of those. If you want.
We should wear those.
And
we
I
should
get
wear those on app.
yeah, and
We'll
I'll
swap.
we'll swap. I
love
really
it.
should, because then I'd wear yours. It's because it's ludicrous, and then but we're gonna stop selling it online.
Good.
So
And mine are yours are 5 cents cheaper than mine, you son of a bitch.
Damn,
Damn
that's
it.
like, remember that Tom Green sketch where he would follow around Undercutter's Pizza?
Yeah.
A guy would be, he'd follow a pizza delivery guy around with his own pizza, and he would try to undercut, and he'd say, "What toppings do you have?" He'd pull out all the toppings, and he would just charge like $5 less. It's a great gag.
I also have queef,
nice.
and there's comedy. Yeah.
I almost sold the Against Baby
Oh, I didn't
Rape
know you
shirt.
had it.
Oh,
You
you
have it
should.
in black and white too.
Oh,
Excellent.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sorry to tell you. Demetri Martin wore comedy on his special with the no exclamation and no period. So
Well-
we're all in the same ballpark.
Well, who did?
Demetri Martin.
that? Has comedy on his?
Yeah, but he just wore it on a special. It's not his merch, I don't think.
I bet it is. That son of a bitch. I know him too.
That palindrome.
He's always
right?
like that, sneaking around.
Yeah, he's a slippery one, that Greek.
He was also on. He was
Oh,
on
that's
the Daily
right.
Show
That's
too. for a
right.
We
while.
got to get him on here.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I love
should.
him.
He's
Coming on
terrific.
Big fan.
He's coming up?
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
he's
All right.
great. He is really, really good. But
Brilliant guy.
But we're going to stop selling it because I felt badly about
No, you could sell it.
it. Are you sure? I don't want
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, you got the period. I got the exclamation. We're different.
Okay, I feel
Yeah.
like it is. I feel like, and I think we approach the whole bullshit differently.
Yeah, yeah. I hawk mine after the show personally. Do you?
No, I actually, we have not been selling stuff. After we're going to start again.
Well, this
This
will
will
help.
start.
All right.
But
Well, hey,
I'll get you one of these.
please.
I have a shirt I'm thinking of selling. I'm worried people aren't going to wear it. It's the again. I have a joke in my special about how people wear shirts that say like "fuck racism," and I'm just like, all right, like, do we have to wear obvious beliefs on the shirt? So the joke is basically like, I'm going to wear a shirt that says against baby rape. And people are like, why are you wearing that? And I say, are you for baby rape? You know? So I want to make a shirt. Do we have a picture of it, Matt? Because now people are just selling it. Now people are making money off my idea because I posted a graphic of it saying, should I sell this? And now I'm getting people sending me, other people are selling your idea. Look, see, Sam against baby rape.
You got to get on that.
No.
Can you pull it up? Yeah, look at that.
Hey!
That's my graphic. And they're making money off it.
That's great.
Would people wear that?
I would wear that.
You'd wear an against baby rape shirt?
Hell yeah.
Look, if it's there, they'll wear it.
My mom saw it. And
it's also the pictures what makes it.
Yeah, it's good art.
My mom saw it, and she said, I'm so ashamed of you for this. And I think I'm going to call my next tour the Jokes That Upset My Mother tour. And that upset her. I told that to her, and that upset her, and I was like, I got to do it now.
You got to do it.
But
That's
against baby rape, that is, it's
a good cause.
It's a cause I care about very deeply.
Now, elderly rape, I'm for.
Yeah, cause.
But yeah.
Or, you could put at the bottom in case they were whining a cause to care about. You fuck.
Remember that was a big thing on like a bumper sticker. It'd say like, if you have any comments, here's the number 1-800-FUCK-YOU. That was a fun gag back in '88. When you had no internet and you had to just stare at a bumper sticker for entertainment. But hey, in the words of Kurt Vonnegut, make no mistake, we're all just here to fart around.
Yep.
Mark, where are you going to be, man?
I'm all over the place. I don't know when this comes out.
Probably the week after next, right?
Royal Oak, great.
Yeah, I love Royal Oak.
Yep.
Music Theater, Roxanne Theater in Pittsburgh, Orlando Improv, the Englert, Rococo in Lincoln, Nebraska.
The Rococo's great.
Oh, really?
I played there 1,000,000 years ago.
Wow. Pantages in Minneapolis.
Perfect.
More in Seattle, just added. Revolution in Portland. Neptune in Seattle. The Vogue in Vancouver. MarkNorman.com doing the Wilbur. A lot of fun stuff.
Omaha Funny Bone, Stand Up Live, Lexington, Kentucky, New Brunswick, Oklahoma City, Springfield, Missouri, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Kansas City, Tacoma, Spokane. Building up new material here. Watch the special on Netflix same time tomorrow and buy our whiskey.
Yes.
BodegaCatWhiskey.com.
Is that your whiskey?
It's ours.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Take a bottle. Yeah. Do you drink whiskey at all?
Yeah.
Oh,
take a bottle. Yeah.
It's good stuff. All right. Well,
we
thanks,
love you.
Lou.
Thanks for listening.
You're the man.
That was great, guys.
That was fun.
Thank you. I had a great time.
Sunday's the day for Monday.